So, last we left off, you had arrived at this mysterious island where you've been sent to deliver a shipment of goods as a peace offering, an island where no one returns from. A dinosaur chased you down. You managed to kill the dinosaur and were joined by a furbolg named Kelkian, who had explained that the island, no one really returns because they arrive and are treated like gods or kings by the people in the city. He brought you into this crystal cave where inside the crystals you saw a bunch of shadowy figures, took you on an exhibition, I guess, of the place, bringing you up to finally a big sheet of crystal, which you're looking at now. In front of you, you're all transfixed by this. As you see your own reflections inside of this crystal, in the reflection, you see Kelkian begin to form a weapon made of corals and tentacles that seem to materialize out of nowhere as he grabs it and raises it up. Doof, there was left a guard up outside, so as Schmerz is staring into it, Doof comes to the rescue.
I'd like to pull his rope.
Currently, he is tied, sorry, I forgot to mention that.
What, isn't he raising an axe up? Just deck him. Like, if he's on the floor, he can't chop anyone.
Roll his strength check, please.
8.
As you run up to him and you tug your rope, he swings around and his warhammer that's just materialized just lands on the crystal sheet that you're standing on, and you just see it splinter. Everyone, please now roll initiative.
I guess I will attack him. My short sword. Got a 10 and 16. I'm aiming for his legs.
16 hits.
Damage is 10.
So with one short sword, you kind of spin round and try and cut into him. He dodges that, and as you get the second one, you cleave into his shin. His scream echoes across the cave as he assumed you were entranced as well.
My dragon uses his tail to spike him in the eye. Yeah, that's woman.
Elizabeth jumps off your shoulder and just begins flying around with an attempt to whack it with his tail. The guy just kind of ducks to one side and the tail just goes flying over his shoulder. And then in a roar of a voice that doesn't sound anything like his own, he just shouts, sees it, will now alert you all to what's going on behind you.
I want to go starry. As a bonus action, can I use the archer thing?
Yes.
Is that right? I thought that was a 1. It's 12.
As Throckmorton turns around, you see the familiar constellations and stars begin appearing all over his body as he tries to fire this arrow. As he's reaching up, the arrow just kind of flies under his shoulder and then just explodes with light, reflecting across all the crystals around you. A few of you just get, glistens in your eyes as his laser show disappears across you.
So I'm still tied to the guy. I might just shoot with my bow then to begin with. I have a plan for something else, but I will wait until does 12 hit.
Spinning around, fire a few shots though, but the light from Throckmorton's catches you off guard.
I'm gonna aim a boomerang right at his kneecap. 15 to hit, 4 damage.
Cool.
It's a weak.
Is it still the hat that you use as a boomerang?
Yeah, but it's a really hard hat.
Take off the hard hat and just boomerang it, and it just bounces back straight away into your hands. So he just kind of buckles down on that leg.
Can I try and take his weapon off him?
Roll a strength check, please.
14?
As you grasp hold of the weapon, you hear a voice inside your head that just screams worthy. And as you're holding onto it, you try and tug it out of his hands. He seems to begin to let go and then hold on with all of his might, and then he just tugs it back as you felt this weird presence in your mind.
Can I use my dragon? Can I distract him by flapping the wings in its eyes?
I'm just going to club him on the head. 24 and 11 damage.
Are you running towards him, walking down on top of his head, slowly rising? He's taken this warhammer and he just spins around, getting all three of you around him, so Doof, Kevin, and you. As the Series Dragon is flying in front of his eye, I'll roll with disadvantage. So Doof, that is natural 1, Kevin, 11, so no, you, 22. So as he spins around, everyone else just kind of misses with the flapping in front of him. He just kind of goes upwards almost as a reaction to hit the Pseudo Dragon, but instead hits you under the chin. 7 points of firstly bludgeoning damage, then the corals kind of spike upwards. Everyone please make a dexterity saving throw, including himself. Everyone within 5 feet.
23.
5.
9.
Doof and Oyu will take another 5 points of piercing damage. The corals impact Oyu's chin. They just kind of burst off and begin striking everyone, and then they just kind of clatter to the floor.
I'm just going to club him. 19 to hit.
I want to say, because it's Doof and Schmerz, if they've got clubs, we'll consider it dual wielding, and so they can both kind of bonk him each.
What? 5.
As Doof hits him, please do the damage for that first one.
3, which is, I now realise, the maximum damage I can do with that. Never mind.
So it's just a club to the hip. You feel kind of shattering underneath, and you just chip something.
I'll do the guiding bolt. 10 to hit the archer thing. 14 to hit,
14 hits.
and that's 4 damage.
So with just a blinding light coming from Throckmorton, it illuminates the entire cave that you're in. The bolt just goes flying way off target. Throckmorton kind of regains himself as then an arrow just comes out from his starry map, strikes Kelkian.
So I want to use thaumaturgy because I can make like flames appear. So I want to make flames appear just around his eyes to distract him.
I'm just going to make a wisdom save against that. Ooh, 12.
So the roll is a 4.
Okay. So as you begin casting these lights around him, the fire begins obscuring his vision slightly, but then almost like candle flames, they're just kind of flickering, and he's still able to just about make out his surroundings well enough to not be completely distracted.
So I want to try and steal his weapon again.
Another strength check, please.
20.
Okay, you grasp hold of it again. You see him coming out of his own mouth. That same voice that you heard in your head earlier was just like, unworthy. So Kelkian shouts this in the same voice that you heard in your head. As Kelkian's his eyes just begin to defocus, as his body just begins to collapse unconscious as you hold this weapon in your hand. Please make a wisdom saving throw.
20.
So holding onto this weapon as he kind of falls unconscious and goes sliding across, a shadowy ghost appears in his place and stares at you in your eyes. Can everyone please make a wisdom saving throw?
19, but it came from a natural 20.
19.
19, unnatural 20.
So you are not petrified and have to run away from him. As this ghost appears, you recognize him as the figure that was around in the crystals earlier. He's clearly inhabited Kelkian's body. As in the same booming voice, he looks at Kevin and he just says, I want you.
12. So,
I'm going to go off on a hunch here. I'm going to present my holy symbol, which is my B tattoo on my head. Channel my divinity. He must make a wisdom saving throw of 12 if he's undead. If the creature fails this saving throw, it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. Must spend its turns trying to move as far away from me as it can.
Wisdom of 5. And so, are you...
I'm 1.5 foot taller than him, so I'll just bend down.
As the bee tattoo on your head begins glowing, he's currently looking at Kevin, just out the corner of his eye, just sees this bee, and he turns and like his green eyes just begin smoking. His mouth opens really wide, awful sound just begins coming out of it as he begins fleeing. And as his scream begins resounding around the cave, you notice that some of the crystals that are above just begin clattering down, piercing the crystal that you're standing on. If everyone can make a dexterity saving throw.
19.
22.
For these
18.
21.
Kevin, you will take 6 points of piercing damage as one of these crystals lands right on you. Kind of just pierces your foot that's falling from above. The Kevin just begins shaking.
I'm gonna go into my chalice form and I'm gonna heal Oyu and Kevin. Oyu gets plus 12 and then Kevin gets plus 10.
I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on Kevin. A +2 to your armor class.
the floor was cracked, wasn't it? What if it breaks? Maybe we should move away.
So you're going towards the exit or towards where he ran to?
I vote exit.
Yeah, I vote exit.
That's the
one's
plan.
this way.
But I'm going to run in the wrong direction. So I'm going to run the same way he ran.
Yeah, so I'll do that. I'll make it look like I've got flaming hands, run at him. He will hopefully try and attack me. If he deals damage, he'll tribute.
The only thing I can do is make a cannon, so there we go. Got a cannon.
Kevin, as you see Doof building a cannon, you feel an intense desire to have a cannon as well. The weapon seems more powerful than the one you've got.
The curse.
But Kevin, you continue running away. You and Apathy begin running towards. Apathy, you realise that the slowness that you're feeling in your steps are to do with Kelkian, which is still tied to you as you're making your way towards the ghost.
Can I just stab Kelkian?
You have to run back to do it.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll run back and stab him.
Just roll your d4, I think, for that damage, plus your strength.
I'll also cut the rope so that I'm not tied to him anymore. Hey, 10 damage.
You run up to him with the rapier, severing the rope, and then cutting into him. As you stab down, his eyes fly open, and he screams in agony. Where am I? What am I doing here? As you continue running forwards. But as the ghost is now returning, now about 30 feet away from you, its mouth open, its eyes completely angry, staring down Apathy. I'd say you should be in the lead if you...
I'd like to heal Kelkian and Doof while I'm at it. 11 for Kelkian, 4 for Doof.
Nice.
So you put your hands on Kelkian, the wound that Apathy's just put into him closes up. His eyes begin to calm as he falls unconscious yet again. Apathy, you're running towards him with the flaming hands.
I'll make it look as if it's like a fireball throwing at him.
So
it's only an image, but... Because if he realises that it's just a trick, he'll come towards me expecting any other fire to come from me, not to hurt him.
So as the fire goes through him, it clearly does no damage to him. He just looks down at the fire and then grins at you as he reaches towards you.
I feel like I should probably put the weapon down.
So as you try and release it from your hands, it just won't. It's holding you against your will. You can definitely do a wisdom save against it though.
18.
Your fingers begin unfurling slightly, but it's using all your willpower to try and do that, and it's not enough to drop the weapon yet.
I think we need to try and put the weapon into the bag of holding.
Yeah,
Good
okay.
idea.
You can make your way over to Throckmorton knowing he has the bag of holding if you want, Kevin.
Yes.
I'm gonna run up to the ghost guy, mace in one hand, fist in the other, and just sort of connect on his head in the middle. 19 for the mace, 13 for my fist.
Both of them hit, and you will take half damage yourself. You punch through him. You do realise that there is a force that, slows your attacks. Please roll your damage for both of those.
So 8 in total.
And you'll take 4 points of damage as you punch your club. Your fist just begins bleeding. So seeing Apathy with these fire, he is going to reach out and just grab you by the throat. 21 to hit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that does.
16 points of necrotic damage as he just holds you.
Hellish Rebuke!
Hellish Rebuke, which is a save of
12 dexterity saving throw.
17 I rolled.
Ah!
You'll take half damage from whatever you roll.
So it's 3d10, 17 damage.
He holds you by the throat. Fire just becomes spreading from his arm, and it's just a very ghostly green fire surrounding him, and it seems to be tearing away at the clothes, so the fire that you're giving him is purely ghost-like and magical and affecting only him. He then releases you.
Can I use my bonus action to dash?
If you got dash as a bonus action, then yes.
Do.
He will get an
Yeah.
attack of opportunity against you, though. You can disengage instead,
Yeah, I'll disengage.
as you can get your speed away from him, so 30 feet, I guess.
I'm so glad you dashed out of the way because it's a cone of fire, or it's a 15-foot range. But the cannon can walk and climb, so that's fun. I wheel it towards him and I strike a match on Doof's chin.
Okay, as you begin wheeling this cannon towards them, you strike the match on Doof's chin, and with an explosion, the fire goes off.
6, 12.
So 19, and then you will have to make that as well.
The damage is 13, but I can angle it so it doesn't get or you.
As you angle the cannon just at the last second, Throckmorton, you see the fire explode out the corner of your eye, as now from above you, more of these crystals begin falling, but much, much larger ones this time. Please everyone make a go again.
Ooch.
8.
Unnatural 20.
7.
23.
Kevin and Throckmorton, a really large crystal drops down and lands between you, shattering the crystal beneath you, as you all begin sliding down about 20 feet below into this other cavern down here, and you will all please take 10 points of bludgeoning damage as you drop down.
I'm gonna heal myself and Kevin. Okay, you get 4 points of healing, and I get 5 points of healing.
Apathy, you've just evaded this crystal that's just fallen from the ceiling. As you roll out of the way of it, you've seen them fall and just vanish from sight.
I'll use my rope to try and help them out.
Just please roll a strength check.
Can I fly and help?
14, you're able to pick up one of them, so it's either Kevin or Kelkian, seeing as though Throckmorton can fly.
I'll help Kevin.
So the rope drops next to Kevin, Kevin grasps, and with 14, you're able to just begin to heave Kevin up onto the crystal.
Can I put the ghost in the bag of holding plan? So we can plan this, right? I'll be bait, and then you jump out from behind a rock.
Would you maybe fashion the bag like using a stick into like a net? Like a butterfly net, kind of.
Can we set that up?
Speaking with Throckmorton, you begin setting up this trap. Please can first have a deception check.
I might need some help trying to get this weapon out of my hands as well. Oh no. 2.
You set up the trap, and I'll roll for him later to see if he falls.
I'm gonna mace and then fist. Try not to punch my mace this time. 16 to hit with the mace, and 19 to hit with my fist. And again, 8 damage.
Swipe through the mace, you notice that some of the fire that Apathy had before whooshes out of it. And as you punch again, you just feel a real sense of heat as it goes through. And as he looks down, he's looking straight at Doofenshmirtz, who has the cannon, and then in a rush towards you, goes through you. Please make a wisdom saving throw.
Natural 20. What's happening?
As he goes through Doof, your will is stronger than his.
I overtake his will.
You now possess the ghost now. As the ghost
I possess the ghost.
flies
How are the
through you,
turntables?
turns around to see Schmertz. I'm just going to roll a d6 and see if it recharges.
I wink at him.
It's a 6. You're going to try and go through Schmertz instead. Charisma saving throw again, please, with advantage.
20 again.
He goes through into Schmertz and finds a lot more in this mind, but more logic and reasoning and a love for Doof, I guess. He finds nothing again to latch onto and comes out the other side, staring at Oyu, who he reaches forward to try and grasp. 15 to hit
Yeah.
for 16 points of necrotic damage as he just reaches through and just holds your heart.
Well, I think it's time for my Stone's Endurance. So I resist 13 of it.
So he reaches through and holds your heart. He feels almost like a wisp to go through you instead as he touches your heart, and that's the only bit of damage he gets through, which is like a scrape of his finger.
I strike the cannon again.
Directly in front of you with another match, you just scrape it off Doof's chin, and with a velocity of fire, please roll your damage. Oh, it's a
9.
6, and so he takes the full 9 points of damage as he just blasts up with his hot fire.
I'm gonna fly up and assist with the trap and be like, hey, this is what you wanted, and just point down to Kevin with the bag of holding above him.
Okay, persuasion check, I think.
That's a 3.
And so as you call him over, he's taken briefly and then looks back down at you and is not fussed by Kevin wielding the weapon.
There's nothing much that I can do that's of use.
Chop my hand off.
You want me to chop your hand off?
I don't know, I feel like it might be better than holding this cursed weapon for much longer.
Okay. I'll do it with a rapier because that's probably going to do it best.
I just bite.
Although not when I get a 14.
I'm a class of 13.
I'm afraid it's not. It's 15.
Oh no, yeah, you've boosted my armor class.
Strike down on Kevin's hand. The endurance that you had put on the skin is just too tough to pierce the bones right now. Because it's willing, I'll let you have a second attack.
Okay, thanks. 24 with a natural 20.
It's double damage as you raise the rapier again and just swing down. And it's a clean cut. The hand comes off. Please roll your damage and double it.
8, so 16.
I am so dead.
So as you cut down, the hand falls off and the weapon drops down to the crystal and just begins rolling as Kevin falls unconscious, a hand severed from the wrist.
I have a potion of greater healing, I think.
Potions are bonus actions. I forgot about that. The house rule is.
Okay. I'll give him a potion of greater healing then. I'll just
Okay, so as Kevin drops down, you pour down the potion of greater healing. The wrist kind of just healed over as a stump. Kevin,
4d4 plus 4 hit points, so 14 hit points.
pain ebbs away from your wrist as you wake up again. You're still prone on the ground.
So it's just on the floor now.
Oh, can we do a Gandalf and hold it with like a cloth?
Yeah, you can pick it up with a cloth and it will not be cursed that way.
Okay, so I'm picking the weapon up using my robe and putting it in the bag of holding.
So you feel kind of tugged towards it as you shove it into the bag of holding.
I know OU quite well. So I watched this happen. I just rolled myself a Constitution saving throw and I fainted. I rolled a 5.
As you turn around and you see the hand that's been severed, you indeed faint. The ghost no longer sees you as a threat and is going to attack Doofenshmirtz with
Attacking me.
19 plus 2 to hit.
Yes.
16 points of necrotic damage as he reaches into Doof's heart and then just begins holding onto it, and you're filled with fear.
Yeah, one would be. I'm very offended, so I will strike the cannon once again. The only way to get rid of it is if I fall asleep, and that would be 11.
As this fire engulfs the ghost, it vanishes for a moment, and then all you see from within is just his face that's still around. His body begins slowly reforming around the flames.
I'm gonna heal Doof with a level 2 cure wounds because I think you deserve that. 16 healing. And then I'm going to heal Kelkian, and that's 10 healing.
Stars just fill the cavern, and it's just healing stars, which are very magnificent to behold.
Can I throw my dagger at it? Got 8 for the first one, 8 for the second one.
You chuck one after the other, and so they kind of go through him.
I guess I'll just try and just whip him. No, that's not very effective, is it? 6.
So you're rushing forward, and as you're whipping around, it just kind of just curls around and doesn't quite connect.
What can you
I'd
do?
like to regain consciousness.
And you come back round again. on the ground.
I'd like to try and hit him.
Lumbering up to your feet with what weapon are you using, please?
Go with my great club, 17 to hit.
And then damage, please.
9.
You take out your great club after lumbering to your feet, terrified by the lack of a hand over in the distance. You steel yourself and then just whack down with the great club, crushes through him, and as his body, I guess, hits the ground, a wave of force blasts out from him. Kevin, Doofenshmirtz, and you will make a dexterity saving throw.
A natural 1.
20.
Natural 1.
So as this thing hits the ground, a green ghostly force, the shockwave just blasts out. Kevin, you just kind of sidestep it as you're flailing still with the whip, as are you and Doofenshmirtz, along with the cannon, and just blast it upwards. You hit the ceiling of this cave before falling back down with a thud on the ground. 14 points of bludgeoning damage. The whole cabin begins shaking now. Crystals and rocks are beginning to just drop down and fall all around you. What would you all like to do?
Run.
Get Kelkian.
So you pick up Kelkian. Cool, make a dexterity saving throw as you rush in away.
9.
12.
17.
5.
16.
So running away, you begin making your way towards the exit, leaving the remains behind. Throckmorton, you're carrying Kelkian as much as you can. He's kind of come to now and he's kind of stumbling with you. He's left his glasses behind, he can't see very clearly. Doofenshmirtz, you overtake Kevin.
Carrying my cannon.
Carrying the cannon, both of you just with it, as then a rock divides you as it falls right between Kevin and you and the rest of the party. It's huge, it's hulking, and you are both thrown backwards by the force of it, sprayed with rocks and crystals, taking 4 points of piercing damage. You would have to try and climb over this rock if you want to get past it.
What do we roll?
If you want to climb over, it'll be an athletics check.
Wait, can't I just fly over?
18 athletics check.
Kevin, with your one hand, you're able to scale this rock crystal over to the other side. Or you, seeing Kevin just expertly, just with one hand, begin just climbing up and vaulting over it. How do you respond? I don't like the look in your face.
I just rolled a 1 on my first death save.
Really?
Is that 2 failures?
A natural 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 failures. Throckmorton, with Kelkian under one shoulder, you see Kevin drop down, and you do not see or you.
With the plan to try to help him over, I fly over.
Okay, so Throckmorton flying over, you see or you on the ground with crystals all throughout his body.
Can I heal him?
Reaching down, yeah, you cast.
Cure wounds on him. Okay, that's 12. How can I help him over?
Yeah, so you roll another athletics check.
24.
So you both easily make it back over and escape the cave, which is beginning to fall around you as you all leave this cave. Night is beginning to fall. It is evening time. As you all come out, the cave around you is just crumbling to pieces, and the exit you just come out of collapses on itself. You hear a roar from somewhere inside of some kind of anger or disappointment. You're not quite sure.
Can I roll sleight of hand to try to get the bag of holding back?
You can, yes.
That's a 14.
Kevin, please, can you make a dexterity saving throw?
8.
Throckmorton, you very effortlessly take this bag off Kevin.
I attach it back to my belt and then nibble on some shrimp and offer some to Kelkian.
Kelkian takes it very willingly. His eyes are blurry because he's left his glasses in the cave and is like terribly sorry for what must have happened in there.
That's okay.
What are we gonna do about my stump?
Can
I
I try
still
casting
have your hand.
mending on it?
I'd like an Arcana check as you're doing it though.
5.
You hold the hand to Kevin's stump or you try casting mending. There's a few clicks and then as you try raising the hand, this hand just falls off.
Wait,
I faint again.
Or you falls unconscious as you...
I will catch him thinking that it's a trust fall.
Please roll a strength saving throw.
10.
As you reach out your hands to catch him, your arms are almost dislocated by the sheer weight of you as he falls into your arms and you just drop him to the ground.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, we're gonna rest soon.
Kelkian,
Yes.
do you know where we can get this hand fixed?
On this island, I guess the chief spellcaster will surely be able to help out.
Why is he
Don't
still
have
here with
off
us? Can I confront Throckmorton about why he healed him after I tried to kill him? What was that about, mate?
When he woke up, he asked, "Where am I?" He looked very confused, and I'm a very good judge of character.
He's led us into a trap. I've lost a hand. Someone needs to pay.
I stand with Kevin on this one. That was silly.
Kind of.
I want to kill him.
I want to save him. Kevin, how did you feel when you were cursed?
It was fine. Don't be a baby.
You wanted
Salt
him to
Ghost
become
Marsh,
a-
Civil War.
I don't want to kill him, but unfortunately I'm passed out, so nothing I can do.
Oops,
Let's kill
I
him.
accidentally threw my hat at him.
Well, I am going to use my stump to bludgeon him to death.
We go for the rapier.
So Abadi stabs him with the rapier, and Doofenshmirtz throw the hat at him. Kevin, you get the finishing blow as he's looking up, just pleading for mercy as you just punch him in the face until he's killed. Kelkian, the Furbolg, has fallen.
I was gonna ask Kelkian how to get to the city, but apparently not.
Can't you just fly up and have a look?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Is that what
I
you-
have a long rest.
I'll have a long rest too.
It's cool. So as you all settle down for a long rest, Throckmorton, as part of that rest, you go flying up, and you do see about a 4-hour journey through the jungle to get to the city. And you all please take a long rest. Is anyone keeping watch for any?
I'd love to keep watch.
You all take a long rest. Doofenshmirtz, you see nothing mysterious during the night, except that the moon is unusually large. Come morning, are you making your way towards the city, or are you going back home?
I think we've gone back in time. I feel like time travel is a part of this.
Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
I want to go to the city because I scouted that place.
You make your way towards the city throughout the jungle. Nothing extraordinary happens. It's just a jungle. You reach this walled, spikes at the top of it. Quite a large, magnificent city, to be honest. And you do see a stone temple somewhere further along in the distance. The gates are open for your entry, and you are welcomed by a cheer of many, many people. All of them you notice that are halflings. One of them screams, "The prophecy has been foretold. They have arrived." As they're all beginning laying just really exotic flowers on the streets leading up to the temple as you're all walking along.
I would like to investigate
What are you investigating here?
the whole thing that seems really suspicious.
You can roll an
I
insight.
just confidently stride up to the temple as if I own the place, just ignoring everyone around me.
Okay, so you begin striding up towards the temple. Kevin, what was your insight check, please?
11.
You notice that the halflings that are in this city, they all definitely believe you to be royalty.
I'm gonna stop and bask in my glory that I deserve because I'm a demigod.
The halfling begin bowing to you, and some are just trying to reach out to touch even your feet.
Lean into Throckmorton and I whisper, Throckmabel will be proud.
I get teary-eyed.
I've kept my rumours, that's what that is.
The temple currently is closed off by some just giant purple curtains. As you arrive, trumpets begin sounding from around, and all you see is a hand begin to pull the curtain aside. And that is where we'll end the session for this evening.